You wrong-uns. Bottle of the Dog. Oh, baby. I could do with a few of them. That's Newcastle Brown, if you're wondering. Bottle of the Dog. Hi, this channel has been recommended to me. What time does it start, please? Now! AD Blackmore, I'm here. Please. Oh, on. Here, waiting, playing on my guitar. You having another strum, AD? With the Man U match on. Mr. John Up, good evening, Adrian. Yeah, wrong. Looking forward to another lively live, and good evening to all. There's, by the way, I've got me hibiscus. There's lots to talk about tonight. Bottle of the Dog, 8 p.m. or 2000 hours if you prefer, if you're military. Who else? Oh, AD's still there. That's if Adrian doesn't have technical problems. You have such faith in me, AD. Such faith, man. Andy Turner, bang, bang. Someone open the coffin. I'm in here. Very good, Andy. Mr. John, true, AD. Mr. Allen has been known to have the odd problem. 99 problems, but this ain't one of them. Rusty Mouse. Poor Adrian. Rusty. Oh, God, blimey, more of them. Theo Bovril. Yeah, wrongin'. The Satan #1 and Simon John Lavender. Evening, Adrian. Marcia Toms. Hello, Adrian. Hello, Marcia. And Gilly B. Good evening, Adrian from Redcar. Redcar, they would say. Dan Seth, but it's Redcar. And I broadcast every Saturday from Redcar Beacon, the mighty Tower of Power, with my little Land of the Good Groove, 5 through 8 for Gilly B. Good evening, Adrian and chat, said Phil you in. David Bevan, evening, Adrian. Tina Silver, Nanu, Shazbat, Tina. Terry Wookfit, good evening, Adrian and chat. PT Ham, evening, Adrian. Evening, PT. And Hayden, how do, Chuck? How do, Hayden? And Toddler69, evening, Adrian, you wrongin'. Awesome poppy video. I take my hat off to you. Thank you very much, Tucker. I did have some help with that. The Scarlet Pimpernel shall remain anonymous, but we enjoyed making that because it's the story is fascinating and wonderful. If you haven't watched it, you can comment below, but it's the video that we uploaded a few hours ago with the story of the unknown warrior. And until I researched it, I didn't know the story. I didn't realise. I mean, I've actually been to Westminster Cathedral and have looked at the Unknown Warrior tomb, and I just didn't know. Who else? Andy Sinsky. Waiting. Evening, Andy. Enemy of the State. Who was that tosser on the Poppy's comments? Knobhead. Is that a technical term? Enemy of the State? No, I think I know who you mean. To Dame Anna, hello! Sorry I'm late. Was banking on Adrian having tech issues. Oh, Dame Anna, how could you? Very, very. And Hidden. Lloyd's announces it will pay 52 million in... What? Lloyd's are going to announce it'll pay 52 million in slavery reparations. Who to? Anybody ever read the book, White Cargo? I have. God blimey. And everybody says all the slaves were from Africa. There were white ones from the British Isles that were taken across to the colonies. Nomad Preppers listener. Ed, nice to see you. Nice. Sorry, Nomad Preppers. I didn't say that last week. I didn't welcome you to the body of the Kirk. Phil Ewan, Irish and Welsh. Yeah, there was loads of them. The Welsh are, as a race, are not always good workers, but they're strong as oxes. Same with the Irish. So that's possibly why they picked up the Irish and the white. It's in a book called White Cargo, and it's in my library somewhere. I have read it. I've had it sent to me 20 odd years ago. It is a very, very, very insightful book, and somebody needs to say to Lloyd's, oi, part of that 52 million needs to go to the English, Irish, Scots and Welsh. Adrian, put your tea down. We're waiting, man. God blimey, I haven't even had a gobful. And don't forget to smash the likes tonight, please. seemingly, so I am told by those who know more than me. Hang on. Lynn Turner, good morning to you from New Zealand. Blimey, are you 15 hours ahead, Lynn? So it'll be... Whoa. It's not 11 o'clock in the morning there, is it? Ish. Pop-eyed Wazza. Finally got here to watch it live. Brilliant. Brilliant. We have got lots to talk about tonight. I am working on something that is basically the answer to what's going on in the Middle East. I'm not going to give you any more than that, but I've worked it out and I've researched the facts and the figures, and we're going to make a video of what I've researched and found. PDQ. So tonight it's live number 39, and live number 40 is coming on Sunday, 8 o'clock, this coming Sunday. Now, there's another wedding coming up. Call me gallivanting about the parties. So there's tonight, there's Sunday, there's next Wednesday, and then I'm going to have to take the Sunday off because I'm going out in my best whistle and flute, and I'm going to get bluted. Just one of those things. It's free beer, free food, free everything to people that I love, and I'm best of luck. But although they won't need it, to Chloe and Craig, to I can say it now because I'm an old guy, but two beautiful kids who I'm going to their wedding on the Sunday, and it's a privilege. Me and the new Mrs. Allen, we're going to the first wedding after our wedding, so I won't be here week come Sunday, but I am this coming Sunday. Live number 40 is this Sunday, 8 o'clock. So what we're going to do tonight? Well, some are saying that this weekend is going to be a defining moment in this country's history. I'm going to ask you the straight questions, and you can put it in the comments section. Do you think it's going to kick off? Is it what Enoch Powell was talking about in his Rivers of Blood? Is it simply being hyped as a distraction for masses, or is it just the only thing that we're going to talk about whilst they're up to stuff? I mean, I saw poor Charlie, bloody sausage fingers. Bet Camilla loves him. Sausage fingers, did I say that out loud? Sausage fingers, King Charles III. Did you notice when he was reading the speech out, he was like, has he got the DTs? I'm thinking, blimey, he can afford anything. He's got DTs. He's got wobbly hands, wobbly sausage fingers. Hang on, I've had a word from TPT. The YouTube have closed their channel. How very dare they? How very dare. Pink Roses, evening, Adrian. I've tried emailing, but it's still not working. Pink Roses. I mean, I know I'm a technophobe, but how hopeless are you? Try again. Do you want me to put... it's Jousting Arena, all one word, lowercase, at gmail.com. So get your act together, you wrong. And that email address is only available for people that I actually ask to email me, or it's got something to do with their business, if you know what I mean. In other news, we're going to talk about the Middle East conflict. Is Charles a weak king? I mean, he's doing the graft. He's off. Well, he's been to France, Germany, obviously. He's been to Kenya. And he's back now. Is he taking his holiday off for the summer? I'm joking. Because I know... well, let me tell you, Hayden, the poppy seller that was beaten outside Waverley Station in Scotland, yeah, it'll kick off. Oh, there's every chance. I mean, it's being stoked. It's being stoked, but we'll get to there. And having lived and worked in Edinburgh, I know the Scots won't take that. They won't take that slapper. Not at all. So if you think you're hard enough, try and have a go at the men in Scotland, because they wear skirts. And there's nothing less about men in Scotland. They're as hard as nails. Let me tell you, as hard as nails. I work with some of the hardest blokes I've ever met in my life. But the loveliest men you couldn't wish to meet ever, anywhere. And Edinburgh is one of the most beautiful places in God's green earth. I love Scotland, love the Scottish, because in my ancestry there must have been some somewhere. I think we were sheep shaggers and horse thieves on the borders somewhere about 1,000 years ago, until the Crusaders caught up with us and we gave them a kicking as well. Hayden, you ought to be given a Glasgow kiss. Try the Edinburgh one. You just smash you in the face. GB Patriot. Dame Anna, when she gets used to the taste of Battenberg. GB Patriot, man. We were thinking about something with Battenberg. Me and my coterie of advisors. All two of them. We were talking about what we can do with Battenberg. There's ideas coming. So I was talking about Charlie and his sausage fingers. Have you noticed? Can I just say this to you? Queen Camilla was wearing her coronation dress. I mean, are they that hard up? As Charlie said to her, "Here, Camilla, pet, you're going to have to wear the same dress." "What do you mean, Charles?" "Well, you know that lovely white number that you wore for the coronation? Aye, wear that. I quite like it in that. Yeah, you can do that for the first Queen's speech. Sorry, Freudian slip. First King's speech." So the thing that I struggle with is calling Camilla the Queen. Because for all of my life until last year, the Queen was Queen Elizabeth the Great. So I can call her Queen Camilla. That sort of feels okay. Popeye Wazza, not had Battenberg in Yonks. Anybody want to tell him? You might change your mind. A bit of a theme since I told the Battenberg story. Somebody in the chat, let Popeye Wazza know what we mean by Battenberg. Oh yeah, they would do that. They've done a battered Mars bar in Scotland. The Weege, though, through Glasgow. Enemy of the state, battered Battenberg. All the rage in Scotty Botland. Yeah. Richmond fingers, Charles. Are Richmond's fat? I mean, can I get away with saying sausage fingers? Can I get away with saying he's got fat fingers? I mean, is that me being fattest? I think you find Charles's fingers are the fattest. But I can't call Camilla like the Queen because she's not for me. Just my opinion, my very humble opinion. But Queen Camilla, I can barely get away with it. The crown's on in, I think it's a couple of weeks, 10 days or so. That starts. And blimey, fill you in. I have trouble calling Charles king and yearn for a republic. Now, you see, you'll yearn for it, and then when you get it, you go, "Oh, no, I wish we were the king again." That girl 81, no, absolutely not, especially with them fingers, Bridget. You can be as much as you want. I'll laugh, I can't say it though. YouTube might shut my channel down. So she's just not the same as Elizabeth the Great, the Queen, my Queen. Lady Blackmore. I like Battenberg. Not after where it's been, where I know it's been. Enemy of the state. No, it's a sexual reference. You had to be there. Google it. I don't even think if you... how can I do this? I'll do this very quickly till we move on because I wanted to talk about... I want to do a quick poll around the king. Oh, I say. Bravo, Charlie, Tango, Victor. A different videographer with opinions. What will happen when the king's eldest child arrives on the scene? It's not William, apparently. Tell me more. What do you know? I thought William was the first and only son that he had. I tell you what, Camilla is a queen. She will never be the queen. As they said in Highlander, there can only be one. And I think, to be fair to the former Prince of Wales, the artist formerly known as Prince of Wales, he didn't know what it was going to be like. He thought, well, I'm Prince of Wales, I can handle this, we can do this. And then it's a lot different when the crown weighs heavy. And you know, Elizabeth the Great, in hundreds of years' time, she will be seen as one of the greatest monarchs this country's ever seen. She knew what she had to do with William because he was going to be king. And there's Harry the Ginge, the Ginger. He's absolutely riven with jealousy. I mean, that boy must wake up first thing in the morning and hate both himself and William for being ahead of him, for him being the spare. The spare. Here, Harry, mate. Foxtrot Oscar. We're not interested. We're not interested in the victimhood. We're not interested in, I've got something interesting to say. Have you rollicks? I mean, bless him. He had his medals on the other day. Medals on. And do you know what the medals were for? One for Afghanistan, another 3 because the Queen had some kind of anniversary. Hey? So Harry, the one that's getting his kicks from, let me just do that. He's getting his kicks from wearing medals on his chest. Only because his granny had an anniversary, he got a medal. Lord Jim Dandy, you say Harry Hewitt. I say it's somebody else. And maybe that's another video I'm going to make. For those that are new to the channel, welcome. But I will say I worked for Mohammed Al Fayed when Diana was murdered. Yeah. And the Crown. The Crown. They're going to touch on, I mean, the press have already said, oh no, it's all lies. It's all lies. Lies, I tell thee, lies. I think you'll find it's not. Oh, it's a drama. It's a drama. Correct. But I'll ask you this question. Why would you embalm a body when it can be from Paris to London via military aircraft in less than an hour? So why do you embalm the body? Because embalming a body gets rid of any evidence of pregnancy. Oh, did I say that out loud? Camilla and Charles have a son that lives in Australia. They had to get him adopted to a family there. It's all over Google. GB Patriot, thank you. Oh, I say. I'd heard that one, but there's people who go, oh, no, I'm royalty. Yes, can I have some of the millions? And they go, where were you born? Mama and Papa are Australian. And I just thought, oh, no. Top of 69. Adrian, you wrongin'. That girl before him. Hang on, I'm completely lost now. Right, we'll get on to some stuff. So, 1, did you ever go and see the comedy starring Harry Enfield? And it was a Channel 4 thing. I think it's on their catch-up service. It's called The Windsors. And I went to see Harry Enfield in something called The Windsors Endgame. Umid, Scooby, because he talks like that. I bet his mum shouts at him when he's out playing footy. No, hang on a second, he wouldn't play footy. When he's out, doing stuff. I had to be careful. When he's out doing stuff, did his mum go to the gate and go, Umid, Scooby, come here? Oh, that well-known lefty Tony Robinson. Thank you for you in. Guy in Australia should be king. There's a Tony Robinson documentary on YouTube. Oh, Tony Robinson, he wants a republic too. So I went to see this Endgame, and I said to you in the last live, so it was funny. Proper funny. But they did stuff that I thought, how can they get away with that? So Kate was called Kate Two Cocks. You can make your own gags up. Meghan and Harry were gurus, New Age gurus. I mean, the one IQ point got between those two, do they kind of loan it to each other on an hourly basis? Oh, you have the IQ point today, darling, I don't need it. I'm just going to spout shite. Oh, no, darling, Harry, no. Are you going to your barbers? Are they going to do something about that chihuahua on your head, Harry? No, darling, no. It's a bit bouffant today. Age, name's Marge, spreads like butter. Harry Enfield was amazing, amazingly acted, amazingly funny as Charles. But are you going to buy this Don Wigley? Have you watched the series, Adrian? Should I, Dom? Has it got stuff in there that you kind of go, oh, how did they get away with that? I mean, fancy calling Kate Two Cocks. She must have had plenty of hens. and eggs and a farm. Well recovered, Adrian. Fill you in, there's another video, but this is from Bravo Charlie Tango Victor, a different videographer with opinions. There is another video, but I can't remember what channel I watched it on. It could have been the Yesterday channel. Blimey, somebody watches that. So I'm going to ask you, we're going to do a quick poll. 1, 2, 1. Is Charles III, the king, popular? 1 for yes, 2 for no. So, is Charles the king, the third, popular? Yes for 1, 2 for no. Dame Anna reckons I keep pixelating. It's an age thing, Dame Anna. So, I think that William's going to make for a strong king. Harry, it's not going to be long, and he's just going to be immaterial, completely immaterial. I mean, do you know the first date between Harry and Meghan? Oh, it's interesting. Lord Jim Dandy. 1664 is not one of the 2 numbers I offered you as options. Yeah, wrong. It's interesting that some people are going, yeah, GB Patriot. All your ducks in a row, 10 of them. Hayden, we don't want Andrew as king. Look, back in the day, 400 or 500 years ago, they would just all keep bumping each other off so they could all be king, bless them. Until Henry VIII, he just bumped all of his wives off. I mean, if you lay on them, might have had a son. Is Kate pregnant again? I kind of heard that rumour, but I'm not too sure she done. Because William said that Kate didn't go to Singapore with him for the Earthshot prize because George has got some exams at that age. Warren Francis, that's very deep. We don't have a king. Poll, I think the majority is no, but I think it's a close run thing. That's very, very interesting. And Theo Bovril said we should have had Queen Anne. Do you know she wouldn't have stood around for any nonsense, would she? Off with the heads. I mean, I would love Anne with being queen. Nothing against the king, but I think Anne would have done it completely differently. Can you imagine? So I think William will make for a strong king. He's not going to muck about. He's got kingly manners about him. Harry, does somebody want to tell him? I mean, some of the lads that were out in Afghanistan with him, he just played PlayStation. That's what they say. But the minute that the Earthshot prize is launched, Harry's in the media. Hello, my name's Harry. I'm the spare. I'm Ginge. Oh yes, that's all I was going to tell you. So can you remember when we were told initially it was a roast chicken dinner that Harry had cooked on their first date? Remember that story? And then they come out and recently on the Netflix doc. Oh no, it was Tinder. Was it? No, it wasn't Tinder. It was online, Snapchat or something. It was one of the socials. That's how we met. We just, that's how we met online. I'd heard it was a threesome. And my sources are impeccable. So, no wonder Harry, upstairs for thinking Harry, downstairs for dancing. Not the other way around. So, no wonder. First date was a threesome. Blimey, they would have had to drag him off with cattle prods. And that's why William came out and said, Harry, do you think you need to, just take your time and stop thinking with the little chap? No wonder. Threesome. First date. Ka-ching. Oh, I love you, Harry. Oh, I bet you do. Now, God blimey, we're all getting the twos in. Albert Medcalf's had enough. To sort of change tack a little, let's put the wind in the sails for the live this evening. Dame Anna, it was Grinder. I'd heard that as well. Wasn't it one of his best friends? You mean you've not heard that one? Oh, the staff. I mean, I've worked with the Royal Protection team. I'm not going to say any more than that. But the stories I heard, I mean, the fact that there was more than one woman that actually found Harry attractive. My burden, ginger. At least I wasn't like Fanta pubes like Harry. But you know, good on him if he can. If that, he's self-admitted. He's off his tits mostly, but yeah. Once Kate had coughed out 3 kids, that is the succession to the throne done. Well, there's an old saying that the rich and powerful plan for 3 generations. Everybody else plans for Saturday night. So the Queen, she got her 3 generations by any stretch. So there's Charles, there's the next king, and then William, there's the next king after the king, and then there's little George, the king after the king after the king. And remember the Queen having that portrait done with the line of succession. I mean, no wonder that Harry is literally, there must be steam coming out of his ears and at the top of his head with his jealousy. He's so jealous. But evidence for the prosecution, my lord. I give you the Princess Royal, Princess Anne. She's the spare. And is she riven with jealousy? Blimey, she's Charles's right-hand woman. She'll knock them all into shape. So was she eaten alive with jealousy? No. No. Anne is made of completely different and sterner stuff. Harry, bless him, I wouldn't inflict that on my worst enemy. Harry's resentment of his spare status began when his older brother was given an extra sausage in the breakfast table. It wasn't one of Charles's fingers, was it? I did say, and I said this before, and somebody went, "Oh no, you're talking rubbish, Adrian." Telling you, Harry tried to brain William with a golf club. Couldn't have been a 1-iron, because not even God can hit a 1-iron. So it must have been something pretty hefty. Bashed him over the head with it. Split it wide open. He was rushed to hospital straight away. And then it started coming out, no. It was, no. Wasn't. It was a friend, school friend. It was a jolly jape. It was Harry wanted to kill him off because he wanted to be the king. Because if William, heaven forbid, and I wish him a long life, if anything happened to William, goes to George now. So Harry only had a chance. One chance, as Eminem would have said. That's Eminem, not M&M's. Same thing, really. Oh, hello, Kale. KLS. First time I've managed to catch a live. Hello from Orkney. Is it cold up there, Kale? I mean, I'm in the northeast, and it's well, you can tell it's November. But one day, it's one of the places on my bucket list, Kale. The Orkneys. I want to come and see the burial sites and the ancient sites and the ancient relics, if they're still there. Paul Flint, spare, as in spare us reading it. A.D. Blackmore, swans eat beef burgers. Is that why the monarch is like all swans are property of the monarch? Does that include Swansea City? I want to change tack a little because I want to get into some serious stuff. Because every now and then I drop things in the live which are completely out of context, but it's only when you pay attention that things start to drop into place. Because the reason why I give them out of context is so that I can. Because there's stuff that I know that I can't always bring to you within context. And I've said that I'm in contact with a knife crime charity. I did contact one that will remain nameless because I think I scared them. So I spoke to the guy and I said, look, I'd love you to come on to talk about knife crime. And he agreed. And then he went away, had a look, came back and went, so that was a no then. But I mean, I'm talking to another knife crime charity that I would love to come on the channel for an interview, because I just think we're not We're not getting understanding in this country. Why are we allowing, and most of the knife crime that is happening in this country is like kitchen knives. It's not, some Bowie knife. It's not hunting knives. It's not, and it's kitchen knives. Because I think some people think that they can carry and they can get away with it. I've seen many, many, many teenagers, young teenagers under the age of consent of 16, and they're carrying machetes around with them. Now, where on earth do they get these from? How do they smuggle them into the country? Because I know you're not allowed to. Whilst doing my ninjutsu, my martial art, the throwing stars, you try getting them in the country. Some of the knives, because we, in ninjutsu, not only do we do open-handed technique, but we do weapons. Swords, knives, sticks, chains. Feudal Japan, that's what it's based on. But these kids are carrying and they get away with it. Thank you, Andy. But I wanted to bring to your attention everything that's going on, and we will get to the weekend in a second. Everything that's going on. We've missed a 15-year-old being stabbed to death in Leeds. I would probably hazard a guess that most people watching this live now have never had to face that, their children being stabbed to death. Now, we can talk in general terms because 2 teenagers have been arrested. I understand they've not been charged as of yet, unless you know any different. So we can mention it, but because of sub judice, we have to be very careful. We're not identifying the 2 teenagers, but when are we going to start tackling this awful scourge in society? When? 15-year-olds right at the beginning of an extraordinary trajectory in life, and their life is cut short. We have to, I'm not necessarily using the royal we, but you and I and everybody else that talked about community on Wednesday. Why? Is it because the kids are now so afraid that they've all got to carry knives? Or is it because they think that they're hard men because they're carrying a knife and nobody will come anywhere near them? There's an old street adage. You run away from a knife and you charge a gun. You ask anybody that's lived on the wrong side of the tracks. You run away from a knife and you charge a gun. Most people with a gun in their hand are not trained. But anybody with a knife in their hand can make a mistake and can cut an artery and you can bleed out. Terry, very good point. I said, when are we going to deal with this awful scourge in our midst with knife crime? And Terry Wookfit said, when someone reverses Sadiq Khan's restrictions on stop and search. Agreed. Completely agreed. He's the worst mayor of London there has ever been. And we had Boris Johnson as mayor of our capital city. I mean, I know from my sources that knife crime is too regular in London. And now we're going to Northern England, Halifax, Leeds. I mean, do kids carry knives in school now? Is it because, do you know, so-and-so's got a knife, so-and-so's got a knife, and it goes around school, so-and-so's got a knife? We can't make the sentences heavier and longer because the government can't put anybody in jail because we haven't got enough jail spaces. I mean, instead of peeing billions of pounds up the wall or giving 20 or 30 million to Michelle Mone, or was it 200 million to Michelle Mone and those dodgy PPA contracts, why don't we start building prisons? Let's just say, here's the deterrent. You do this, you go to jail. We're not messing about in society. We've had enough. You're 13 and you're carrying a knife. That's 5 years inside. Off you go. We can send you to Siberia. We've got a deal going with Russia. Vladimir loves a bung. Do you think that's a big enough deterrent? Or should we arm our police forces and anybody caught with a knife, it's just a bullet between the eyes? They're not going to be a contribution to society. No, let's not reform them. Let's get rid of them. Is that the answer? So you've got fascism on one hand, which is like, just take them out. Just take them out. String them up. There's the namby-pamby pinko liberals. Oh, no. Reform. Only way to go. Reform. But I think you may say, how are we going to sort this? Do we look to our leaders? I mean, they're calling him Richboy Sunk because they think he's given up. He knows he's not going to be Prime Minister for much longer, so he's kind of given up. So they say, the Tories, the backbenchers. But can't we, if we look to our leaders, how the bloody hell? A.D. Blackmore says, parts of Middlesbrough are like war zones. A lad tried to nick my bike on the way from footy today. I hope you wrapped it round his neck, A.D. I was working for BBC Radio Cleveland as it was. My car was parked outside. CCTV on the car. And I'm presenting a radio show. A live radio show. There's nobody else in the building. And I see this kid throw a brick through the back window. And then all I saw was his feet at the back of the car. And I'm thinking, there's somebody in my car. And I opened the mic and said, gotta go do something. So I linked a couple of songs together in the computer, raced downstairs. And as I got to the car, this kid comes out of the car with a knife in his hand and a bike. So I'm not tackling a knife. I'm not that stupid. But I did take his bike. Gave it to the police. What'd the police do? Naff all. Nothing. Nix. Nada. Nout. Cleveland police, up yours. Albert Metcalf, Harry got a hole in one. I think you finally got more than one hole. So this we have to do something as a collective. We have to, because this is not going away. We either have to have zero tolerance around certain things. It's not going to go away. A bit like the XL bully. You know, little rich boy said, we're going to ban XL bully dogs. It's been another attack. And the press are not reporting this. One newspaper, one column inch, buried deep in the newspaper. XL bully dogs. So an XL bully was shot by cops after attacking two people and another dog in Halifax. And I've said to you before, the police carry guns in this country. The police have the authority to euthanize dogs. But the dogs have to be out of control. They have to have attacked and they have to be out of control. If a dog is not under control, the police have the authority to euthanize the dog. Now, remember, was it in London a couple of months ago when some guy had 4 dogs and he didn't have the dogs under control? So the cops just shot the dogs. You can't argue with cops because they have a rationale. They have a decision-making model, and if they can legitimize, use that national decision-making model in a court of law, then they have the authority. Formerly known as TPT. Serious question. Do the government actually want to change anything, or is this a step towards martial law? The government are not interested in changing anything. Like I've that Ken Livingstone quote, the title of his book, if voting changed anything, they'd abolish it. They don't want to change anything because it means work. They don't want to work. They want the power and they want the money. You never see a poor MP leaving the Houses of Commons, do you? You don't. They're making hundreds of thousands of pounds a year. And then if you get your missus as your secretary, there's another 100 grand in your trouser pocket. You know, the secretary and the MP, whatever sexuality, Malcolm Rifkin once said, I can't survive on 80 grand a year. I think you might have to, Malcolm, mate, Sir Malcolm. But that's a very good point. Homeless out of tents because the no status rights to some migrants may use our streets as hotel spots. Did you notice when we were in lockdown? You know, when it was Armageddon, when everybody was having to take the jibber jabber, when everybody thought they were doing the right thing. There was no homeless on the streets. None. And these economic migrants get across the channel because France won't stop them. We gave France 500 million quid. There you go, Macron. Macron, thank you. Emile, Macron. Emmanuel or whatever he's called. He's French. That's enough. We'll give you 500 million, mate. How much backhanders did our government take? Who in our government took the backhanders from the 500 million? Because that's the way politics work. You take taxpayers' money, yours and mine, and then they give it to somebody, like foreign aid or something, so that some of it will trickle back. I want to know how much Richboy Sunk went into Parliament with, and his missus, and then I want to know when he's booted out, because that's coming in a few months. When he's booted out, I want to know how much his missus and he's got, because I want to know where they got the money from. Can you imagine? He's on, what, 150, 160 grand a year? So he'll be Prime Minister for a couple of years. I bet it's gone up by tens of millions. Ian Holmes, question, what contributed to Californian homelessness most? It wasn't their non-dom status, was it? I know the Sunuks had non-dom status and they had a Californian home. But, so, I'm kind of getting into politics there. I just wanted to make you aware that if a dog is dangerous to the officer and or others and is out of control, an armed officer has the authority to euthanize the dogs. And in my world, if you're having to euthanize a dog, why can't we give it to the owner? Because there's no such thing as bad dogs. It would make sure that the owners got into line PDQ. Let's talk about this weekend. Hang on. Ken Dodd's dad's dog's dead. It's all right. I enunciate my words, Sean. So this weekend, what do you make of it? Are you in alignment with there should be the pro-Palestinian march on Saturday, Armistice Day, but so long as it's after the 11 o'clock 2-minute silence? That's the 11th of November. Adrian, Chalky, glad you could make it, you're wrongin'. And the march started about 12:45. Do you agree that it should go ahead? Are you in alignment with that? 1 for yes, 2 for no. I think the press, the reason why I believe that it's being stoked, I think it's being whipped up. Because the press are saying it's happening on Remembrance Sunday, and it's not. The march, the million, it's all twos. It's all twos. The march is going ahead on Saturday. I believe that Richboy Sunk, the Prime Minister, Prime Monster, he's being very clever. He's saying, I've told Mark Rowley, Met Commissioner, I've told Met Commissioner that he is responsible for this. Because the namby-pamby pinko liberals in the Met Police have come out and said, oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Well, let me give you some background. There will be at least 3 police forces on that march on Saturday. There will be the Metropolitan Police. It wouldn't surprise me if City Police, another police force that you don't normally hear about, they police the financial district of our nation's capital, the square mile. it has its own police force. It's called City Police. So you'll have the Met, City Police, and British Transport Police, who's just a security service that looks after the trains. But because they've got police in the title, they look after events. So you will have three police services looking after this march. You will also have the security services in civvies. And I will lay a pound or a penny bet that you will have civvies army personnel. Because now that the book is stopping with the Met's commissioner, they will have police officers from all over the country. The word will go out. Overtime, double, triple, quadruple time. It'll cost a lot of money, but it will be rammed full of police officers. Now, if it all gets a bit tasty, do you think we'll start kettling them again? I mean, I'm thinking about going down. The train prices are not bad. I'm a senior citizen, don't you know? I might go down and have a look. See if I can find some of the other YouTubers with the bungs up their backside going, oh, I was there. Yeah, what about Manchester? What about Birmingham? Thank you, Alan. And what about Newcastle? Who cares about London? Yeah, shiny drinking southerners. But I see Tommy and Katie. Are they being set up? I mean, I watch this and think 3 days before an incendiary march. Are they sending in the right-wing attack dogs? I mean, is this political right-wing, left-wing, namby-pamby, pinko liberals? What? What hue? Agree with you, Sean. It smells a bit. So I said at the beginning of this particular live, is it going to be a complete and utter escalation? Because if you think about it, even if they've got 10,000 cops and there's 1 million people against 10,000 cops, what are they going to do? Bring the horses in? Unleash the dogs? I saw, I'm not sure where it came from, but it came from the Middle East. But the IDF have sent the dogs in at the tunnels. And what they've done is they've put a camera on the dog's collar. So when the dog's running, the camera can see over the dog. And they've sent the attack dogs into the tunnels. And this dog got hold of whatever it was, Hamas or some terrorist, got hold of this terrorist, and the terrorist squealed like a pig. Like a stuck pig. Now, if a dog's chasing you, there's not really much that you can do. Because in the aftermath, the dog handler has to count the puncture holes that the dog's made. It's legitimate. Just in case anything comes of it, just go, yeah, there was 25, 30, 40, 50. But is this going to be, as I said at the beginning, this weekend, is it going to be a defining moment in this country? We had Enoch Powell 50 years ago talking about his rivers of blood speech. Are we getting there? Are the politicians removing themselves because it's down to the Met and the Met's commissioner? Because if anything goes wrong, the government's got deniability. The government can say, well, no, we left it to the Met. We told them we didn't want this march to go ahead. They didn't listen to us. That's where the book stops. Yeah, formerly known as TPT. A bit like SO19, have to account for bullets fired. Yeah. SO19's the Met's anti-terrorism, aren't they? Do you think we are going to have a riot at the cenotaph? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Is this all kicking off this weekend? Now, we've got the old boys. We've got the old boys and girls. We've got military personnel. I'm telling you, even if they're in wheelchairs, if it looks like it's going to kick off, they will, like Lazarus, they will rise up and take them on. I'm telling you, these old boys and girls will not stand for any nonsense whatsoever. So do you think it's going to kick off? 1 for yes, 2 for no. As I say, I'm thinking about going. I'm keeping an eye on the reportage, the news cycle, see what's going on. But there are people that have had their, they've had their formerly known as Twitter unleashed again, the bird. And I just think 3 days before what's happening at the weekend, is it really to inflame and escalate the whole situation so that the government can say to the Met, we're taking charge now, you're inept, you're incompetent, you're full of people that abduct people and rape people and murder people. So if they wanted to break the Met up, this is a good enough excuse because it's now on the Met. It's on the Met. It's on the City of Police. It's on BTP. They will be organising this weekend. Their feet will be paddling like Billy-O. Hayden, where did you get that information from? EDL are going. English Defence League. Now, I was privy to the EDL going up to Edinburgh and having a go at the SDL, Scottish Defence League. And it was just like a football crowd. One side of the road was the SDL, on the other side of the road was the EDL. They just shouted abuse at each other, no fighting, because the cops, Police Scotland, you don't mess about with them. You just don't, because they do it the right way. One of the best police forces in this country, in the British Isles. And the EDL eventually just went back on the train, back down to London. Nothing happened apart from a few bit of name calling. When's it going to escalate, do you think? On Saturday or Sunday? GB Patriot, it's on Google about EDL going. Alan says it's on YouTube. Really? And Alan says Tommy Robinson said so today. I mean, as I say, the government need to have deniability. Can you remember the Northern Ireland conundrum? And the IRA came out and went, oh, you've got the SES on the streets of Northern Ireland. You've got the SES on the streets of Northern Ireland. So the government had to have deniability. And they were able to deny that. I won't go any more into it because I know far too much. I've read some great books. The government just needed deniability. So now what politically what they've done is they've manoeuvred and strategically manoeuvred the Met into pole position. If you don't get a grip of what's going on Saturday and Sunday, it's on you. Can you imagine Mark Rowley? It'll cure his constipation, that's for certain. And I've known some very, very, very senior police officers in my time. And as charming and as capable as they are, you put them under pressure, people get shot. Mind you, any police force, it's a Peter principle. They'll promote your incompetence. You reach your level of incompetence. So if you muck up, yeah, we'll just promote you, Commissioner. I just wanted to follow on from, this is going to last another, I'm probably going to do about 70 minutes tonight because there's some stuff that I really, that I want to give you so that you can put it in your back pocket and just observe. Because the best way to do things, if we're talking about the weekend, and that is the only conversation that's happening in most of the households around the country, especially sort of south of Watford Gap and around London. It's the only topic of conversation. And now that they're putting the right wing into the mix, are they doing that on purpose? Because various subjects are just popping up. as in subject individuals, are popping up. And then they're going down. Dan, Seth. Now, I'm a professional communicator. I've been doing this kind of thing for 40 years, on the radio, on the telly, writer for newspapers and magazines. But this weekend, you can see the strategic maneuvers, the chess moves. So, Richboy Sunk was with Elon Musk last week, interviewing him. Richboy, the Prime Minister of this country. Oi, you're wrong, and you're supposed to be our leader, not sit there fraternising with some Canadian American who might be a tech billionaire. But stop that. Get some grunt to do it. And then within the week, Elon Musk says that certain individuals can have their Twitter handles back, their Twitter profiles. They had a lifetime ban. So which part of hate speech are they going to police at the weekend? I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on for hours and days and weeks about this. But there is there are laws of this land. And I'm not even going to repeat what some of these protesters have been saying because it's offensive. Let's open the water cannons on them. Let's show these people. And if you want some figures, because I did my research the other day, in this country there are 270,000 Jews. There are 3.8 Muslims, or people that identify as either Jewish or of a Muslim origin. That leaves about 66 million of us. And we're law-abiding and peaceable. We are this sceptred isle, this green and pleasant land. We are singularly one of the most welcoming tribes, if you wish, whether there's 4 of them or 5 of them, but we are one of the most welcoming tribes on planet Earth. But do not, under any circumstances, rile us. Because apart from 1066, we've never lost. Because we're the best army in the world, and we are the best fighters in the world. That's why countries all over the world look to our special forces and ask for help and support. That's why they call us British Bulldog. Because when we sink our teeth in, we don't quit. And is that the very thing that they are trying to escalate? Is that the very thing that they want us to just fall into the trap of fight, fight, fight? And it's on one of the most sacrosanct weekends in our year. They could demonstrate. They've said, oh, well, we've done every Saturday since the terrorists killed the Israelis. October 7th was a Saturday. We've protested every Saturday. Well, give your head a wobble. Just ask yourself why you are demonstrating. Thankfully, not Remembrance Sunday, because it would go nuclear. If they demonstrated and went anywhere near the cenotaph on the Sunday, it would go nuclear. It's bad enough on the Saturday. That's Armistice Day. 11th hour, 11th day, 11th month, 1918. Do you have the answer? Do you think that the government is setting up the Met Police for failing? Terry Wookford, if they can't respect our dead, why should we be interested in theirs? Excellent point. Because there's the reason why we did the Unknown Warrior video, and I hope you've been able to catch it today. If not, please watch it after this live or tomorrow, or as we head towards the weekend. The reason why we wanted to do that particular insightful video is because not many people know the reason why we wear poppies. Not many people know about the Unknown Warrior. They don't know how the tomb or grave at Westminster Abbey came about, Westminster Cathedral. Pink Roses, we have to fight. We have a fight on our hands if we are to preserve, or if we want to preserve our nation for sure. Now, I don't know whether you can see this. If anybody can see me and hear what I'm saying, Sean, thank you. I'm looking at, so it may lag. Thank you, Jip. Popeye was no longer known or talked of. Armistice Day is now Sunday Observance or Remembrance Sunday. It's very weird. I mean, I'm monitoring what's going on with the stream, and it looks like on my computer it's being cut, but I'm using my my iPhone on Wi-Fi. 77 Brigade. Let me just no, I'll wait. I think I'm going to wrap it up with because so what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of going on Saturday. I know London well, having lived and worked in London a couple of times for quite extensive periods of time. So I may just go and see what's going on. But I am concerned that we have no leadership. I am concerned that we have no one saying, this is what we need to do. And even Richboy is playing chess with the Met Police. Yeah, Mad Matt says, my TV's okay, but the stream on my phone is cut. Interesting. So I will let you know if I'm going to be there on Saturday. I will look at, if I do go, I'll see if I can do a live. Now, we have been thinking about just doing, like you have pop-up shops and stuff. We are thinking of just literally with phone-ins, with lives just popping up. So make sure you are subscribed, because we have stuff planned. And on Saturday, if I can, then I'll do a live from the march and do a full commentary so you can see it. Whether that is allowed is another matter, because I may not get YouTube reporting issues with live streams. Thank you. Thank you, Madlove Tracy. Wiggy videos, you stay safe, Adrian, if you go. Yeah, always. Always. I know a trick or three, but, pride comes before a fall. Alan says, my advice, don't go. Popeye Wazza, stay safe, mate. Well, the only reason I would go is because I just don't trust the mainstream media to tell you the truth. I did those lives from Peru because they'd never been done before. But if anybody goes on Saturday, and or Sunday, live would give you the truth. On the spot reporting, live. Even if it's kicking off. Yeah, Jim Atkinson makes a very, very good point. Because of the political state, I'm not sure if people will stay away. People want their voices to be heard. People want to know that they are being listened to. And if it doesn't matter what religious persuasion or what nationality, everyone around the world just wants to be heard. And if it's kicking off there and the mainstream media, and the BBC have done this, I know for shit sure the BBC have done this. Oh no, there wasn't anything going on, nothing. And it's absolutely like a cowboy fight. So the only way you get to know the truth are possibly by YouTubers being there, and I will guarantee you, it might just be 100,000 YouTubers all trying to record it and all trying to do it live. Theo Bovril says, I've got a feeling Forest play West Ham Sunday afternoon, so there'll be football fans in London. Oof. Forest are a bit tasty. West Ham are a bit mad. But, you know, you send some Sunderland fans down there. They don't take people on from the North East because we know we're mad. They know we're mad. Pink Roses, we have to start standing up to the government. I think it's time for a revolution. Oh, there's been plenty of them. It's always crushed. I mean, look at Margaret Thatcher, Milk Snatcher. And the demonstrations that were going on during her reign, if you can call it that. Why she just turned the cops on us. Just turned cops on us. Terry Wookfit, troublesome EDL member runs repeatedly into mainly peaceful Muslim protesters. Is that in the past or a prediction, Terry? Mr. John, if you go, Adrian, as others have said, please take care. Remember, you now have a wife to consider. Oh, I've had the conversation with the new Mrs. Allen. She's steadfastly refused. No. And I wouldn't put her in that kind of danger. If there is any danger to be had, like I say, you can't really call it, can you? And I just felt tonight wasn't alive to be ranting on about stuff. I genuinely believe that this weekend is a seminal moment for our sceptred isle. We are one of the most welcoming peoples on planet Earth. And this fight isn't ours to be had. It's Middle Eastern. And if you look at what's been happening today, I will tell you that, and I know a lot of people have missed this, oops, there was a secret meeting in Geneva over the last couple of days. You'll not read that anywhere in the mainstream media. I got it from the American media. There's been a secret meeting in Geneva, and it's had a lot of the usual suspects from the Middle East. Iran are not going to escalate. Hezbollah and Lebanon, no, they're not going to escalate. They're now looking at what's going to happen in the Middle East post-Hamas. And do you know how much the leaders of Hamas are worth? Between them, between the four that I looked at, $11 billion. Now ask yourself, how did they get that money when the poor Gazans, they haven't got a pot to pee in, they've not got any water, they've not got any food, yet the leaders of Hamas have got $11 billion in their trouser pocket. How does that work then? And if I get a chance tomorrow, in amongst all the videos that I'm going to make, that message needs to be promulgated everywhere on planet Earth. Because they don't even live in Gaza. They live in the Qatar. They're Qataris with $11 billion in their bank accounts. Now, I've told you before about little Yasser Arafat nicking all the money that was meant to go in as aid for the Gazans and the Gaza Strip and to help rebuild. Little Yasser. Can't libel a dead man. But he thieved hundreds of millions of dollars. And they went into his Swiss bank accounts. And when he died, because he kept it all in there, when he died, bank accounts disappeared. Nobody knows where it is. Nobody knows where the money is. And you've got Hamas. How did they amass $11 billion? The Qataris allow them to stay in really posh hotels. They're living the life of luxury, while the Gazans don't even know when they're going to get a mouthful of food. Stinks, doesn't it? It's corrupt, and it stinks. So these people that are marching on Saturday, seemingly, when are they going to say, who's got the money? Where's the money gone? Follow the money. The crooked Hamas. Maybe the Gazans need to rise up against Hamas. But I will make a prediction for you. I'll do that in the video tomorrow, because some other YouTuber will nick it. John D, yeah. Yeah, it was fuckwittery. Definitely. I mean, Bibi Netanyahu said today that if they do a ceasefire, it will be by the hour. It'll be an hour here, an hour there. The borders are open to Egypt. But we all know where the Gazans are going to go. It's easy to see. Pink Roses, Adrian, just wondering what you think of that horrific Adam Johnson hockey incident. Murder or manslaughter or accident? My opinion, definitely not an accident. I agree with you, Pink Roses. I've seen the video. I've seen the footage. And if I can get hold of it again, I'll stick it on the channel. That's not an accident. But you know something? If you know what you know with the mainstream media, if you look at... Who said deliberate? Alan. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Now, the rumours were that there was some beef between the two hockey players. But I know... Interesting, Terry. Where did you get that from? I've not seen that anywhere. I'll get back to the ice hockey in a second. Terry says that they already have a 4-hour window each day, 10 till 2, no Israeli offensive actions. Very interesting. There's just, look, they're sticking the dogs down the tunnels and finding the terrorists. So let's get back to Adam Johnson. I'll try and find the footage and I'll stick it on the channel. That was not an accident. And as I was saying with the mainstream media, you can tell they follow the story, but they follow it gently because they know, the mainstream media know, more than they're letting on. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. But I thought the police were investigating. Unless they were trying to get the funeral out of the way, out of respect for the family and his friends. Popeye Wazza, he's done it before. Has he really? Have you got any footage or have you got any detail that I can have a look at so I can do my research? And all I can see in the media is all they're talking about throat guards. After the horse has bolted? Right, I'm going to very quickly have a look at... My computer is still lagging. So I'm not really sure what has gone on this evening. It's very interesting, though. I do love a conspiracy. So if I do decide to go into town on Saturday, I will let you know. By hook or by crook, I will let you know. Let me just have a look at these comments again. Correct. Sorry, I'm a little slow this evening. Popeye was correct. No beef between them, just didn't like to look like a loser as he took the wrong turn and got annoyed. Psychotic, doesn't come close. Interesting. Now, obviously, I broadcast in Nottingham. Was it Nottingham Panthers? I know Adam had been skating in America. Interesting. Stuart, thank you for that. Thank you for all of your comments. We've got 127 people watching at the moment. Please smash the like so we can get over 100, because seemingly the algorithm goes, oh, I say, they quite like that. Let's send it out to the universe. Junior Stevens, yes, of course. Chalky White, when I was in Nottingham, sort of 97 to 2000, and when I was broadcasting to 2001, I knew some of the Panther players. Brilliant boys. We used to train at David Lloyd's together. Strong, strong, strong boys. Jib Atkinson. Well, if I had a stab jacket, I definitely would for Saturday. Thank you to everyone that's been on the live this evening. I really appreciate your support, your continued support. We'll think of some marketing for Battenbergs. Tonight, I think we can definitely say that we can look at the weekend, and we really don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes with the government, with the police, with various factions that are going to attend. We don't know what's going to go on. And if you're psychic, I'll have the lottery numbers from you for the weekend. Chalky White. Ooh, David Lloyd, get you. I'm at Virgin London Road. Oh, yeah. Yeah, complete wrong-uns. If I work out what we're going to do with the Battenberg. I can't remember the idea that the Scarlet Pimpernel put to me the other day, but it was brilliant. It was brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So please stay safe. If you are going to the march, if you are going to stand shoulder to shoulder with good, honest folk, that's the point I was going to make earlier. When we got the lockdown, the jibber jabber, and the pandemic, everyone was. Oh, that was it. Yeah, we were thinking of a Battenberg butt plug. Don't ask. So. At the beginning of the lockdowns in sort of March 2020, when it really started hitting the fan, China and Wuhan and everything was going on, and it was like a domino effect, falling domino effect. And it got here and we got locked down, and we had, the blonde buffoon who, looking at the inquiry earlier this week, there's stuff in there, real tasty stuff. I mean, Dominic Cummings is now on Twitter, X, and he's letting the truth out the bag. I mean, he's obviously thought, blimey, this new thing I could do on my phone. It's brilliant. But when all that started, everyone tried to do the right thing. Everybody wanted to do the right thing. And I think we're in exactly the same place, sort of, with this weekend. Everyone wants to do the right thing. Those that are protesting and are pro-Palestinian, they think they're doing the right thing. Is this the Tony Blair, I was only saying my truth? Well, formerly known as TBT, Battenberg, but plug, your producer is twisted. Oh, tell me about it. I've got to work with him. I won't tell you about his gimp mask. So I think that everybody's trying to do the right thing. They want to do the right thing. But there are factions of people that just want to go there for a bit of a dance. They just want to go for a bit of a rumble because they can't get rid of the energy, I suppose. That's brilliant. Wiki videos. McDonald's new McBattenberg. That's funny though. So I think that as a nation, we just want to do the right thing. There's idiots everywhere. Any country, any community, there's always idiots. But the community always know who the idiots are, so they just keep away from them. But what is the right thing to do this weekend? What is the right thing to do for the politicians? What is the right thing to do with the police? What is the right thing to do for the protesters? Oh, Jib, I think you're exactly right there. If anyone touches the wreaths. The thing is, though, if it kicks off and there's 1 million on one side and 1 million on the other, the police. Yeah, my local remembrance is not too far away. It's about half a mile away from the house. That's on the Sunday. Definitely. I've been to many. In Scotland, in Musselburgh. I went there. And it's, this is why I love the Scots. This is why I loved being in Scotland. Because the Scots are straight up and down. They don't mess about. They're just straight up and down. And it gets to 11 o'clock on Remembrance Sunday, and literally cars just stop and people get out of their cars and stand next to their car. out of reverence and remembrance. Yeah, you go to some places in England and it's like, oh, I missed it. In work, I would stand up and observe the silence. Some of the people that I work with weren't very happy about it, but you know what? They can foxtrot an Oscar. I'm not interested in what their opinion. Terry says there are no wreaths at the cenotaph currently. They were taken away a couple of weeks ago, same as every year. Flags are also removed for cleaning. I hope so. And I hope the world looks on and they respect we as English, Irish, Scottish, and Welsh. But when you bring us together, you create Great Britain. Let the world watch and let them know we don't suffer fools at all, never mind gladly. And let those people that are attending London in any guise, in any way, shape or form, Saturday and Sunday, let them show reverence. Let them show respect. And most of all, remembrance of those, the fallen. My name's Adrian Allen. Thank you for your likes, your subscriptions. Smash the likes again, please. We're only 4 away from 100. I will see you on Sunday at 8 o'clock. If I go Saturday, I will just pop up with a live. So we are warriors. Stay strong. And hopefully they won't take us on. There's too many of us. Stay safe. Be well. And I'll see you for a live on Sunday, hopefully. And if I'm there on Saturday, you will definitely know about it. Thank you for being here this evening. Thank you for your support. And I'll see you in the next live.